What's up, everybody? Welcome back in for another sports conversation with your guy, the sports judge. You know what we're about to get into. Yes, indeed. The NBA Finals. The NBA Finals got underway last night. Game one, the Boston Celtics cruised past the Dallas Mavericks in a blowout fashion in game one, following a lengthy layoff after sweeping the Eastern Conference Finals. The Celtics were more than ready to tip off against the Dallas Mavericks. Did they show up or what? Kristaps Porzingis back and better than ever off the bench. And KP was spectacular. The fact that he's been sidelined for most of the playoffs and then returns in game one of the finals and have a performance like that one means that he's feeling 100%. His calf must be feeling really good. He's feeling great. He looked great out there. It is undeniable that if you look what he was doing on the floor last night, it is almost certain Boston is going to win this series with the way Porzingis played, because he did it all for Boston. This series won't be very long if he plays like that. Without question, the Dallas Mavericks were very uncomfortable in the game. They just looked like a team that's never been there. I saw a team that didn't look ready. I saw a team that looked rattled and even intimidated. Here's the thing. The Celtics just came out and attacked often and early. It showed up yet again in the stat line. This was all too familiar to see Boston explode the way it did on offense in the first quarter. This is something they've been doing all season. KP with 11 first quarter points. He came off the bench and went completely off, exploded. And what Boston did early with Jaylen Brown and KP, setting the tone, been the table setters they were. What they did was establish a rhythm, got into an offensive flow, asserted their dominance over the Mavericks in game one. It was just incredible. Obviously, there are a handful of storylines that have grabbed everybody's attention. One of those storylines been Porzingis. So obviously everybody was keeping an eye on him to see what he would do coming back from the calf injury. And man, did he provide a spark or what? I mean, he was absolutely going bananas out there. He comes off the bench, makes an immediate impact, finishes with 20 points as Boston powered their way past Dallas. What was striking was Porzingis hadn't played for 5 weeks. He steps in, he steps up, he's playing in a ruckish environment where he delivers and has a finals defining moment. Absolutely remarkable. Beautiful basketball. Definitely the big story of the night. Seeing how it played out during game one was fascinating to watch. With him back, this allows the Celtics to do a lot more things offensively. This allows the Celtics to diversify the offense, get more creative as it opens up the floor. The place was going absolutely bonkers when he came out for warm-ups. And what does Boston do very well? They space the floor. So having a guy like Porzingis is huge. They space the floor, move the ball consistently, and create on the offensive end. The three, that's a major part of the offense. When making 16 or more threes, Boston is 51-6. They're really unbeatable when the threes are dropping like that, like the threes were falling last night. And looking at this Boston roster, it's the best group in the league right now. For the most part, the Celtics were locked in, were completely comfortable, and built a nice lead with ease. And Dallas just got outplayed, outshot, outdone. I know Dallas usually responds after a loss. After a loss like this one, they've been here before, And so, as I said on many occasions, the Mavs are never out of a series because after a loss, they are the most locked in team. Great defense, better offense. And as this series goes, they will adjust. They got a feel for Boston now. And so, they'll make adjustments. Now, does that change how I feel about Boston? Not really, not at all. But I didn't even think to say Porzingis would do what he did in game 1. We literally witnessed a 7 foot a 7 foot 3 giant draining 30 footers. And while the Celtics have a lot of postseason experience, a lot hasn't looked good for them, particularly in the finals where they've come up short. So to see this from the Celtics, in a sense, it kind of caught me by surprise. We've heard Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown talk about how their experiences didn't go well and how they learned from those experiences and it's brought them together as a team. And to watch them come out and punch the Mavs in the mouth the way they did, they had an answer for everything the Mavs tried to do. When the Mavs tried to cut into the deficit and tried to mount a comeback, and the Celtics every time, threw a haymaker. And the Mavs, they had no answers for everything the Celtics did to overpower Dallas on both ends of the floor. This was an all-around effort from the Celtics. They got the mismatches that they wanted on offense and defense. They were able to dictate on both ends of the floor, getting everything they wanted. They were getting every shot they wanted. It seems like every shot was falling. Everything was just going their way completely in the game. Where the game changes for me was when it appeared the Mavericks started to question themselves, but where Luka looked a bit hobbled after attempting a corner 3. And he appears to be hobbled a bit. If you go back and watch, you can see him trying to get back on the other end of the floor, calling for a sub. He puts up his hand. He puts his hand up, looks over at the bench, calling for a sub. I don't know what was happening there. I don't know what was transpiring. I don't know what was happening there, if he wasn't feeling good or a bit banged up. I don't know. When Luka left the game, the Mavericks were down by 6. By the time the first quarter ended, without Luka on the floor, they were down 17. The lead ballooned at that point, and the Celtics took off. That was not what you saw in the first quarter, the Dallas Mavericks that we've seen throughout the playoffs. Jason Kidd even had that look, that exasperating look on his face, like, what are you doing? Like, what is going on? This game got out of control quickly. Luka was struggling, getting anything going. Kyrie was bad, couldn't get anything going. He was a no-show. And I was looking at him at times, and he was struggling to dribble the ball. And when you saw that, I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a long night. When your most experienced player on the team is struggling to handle the ball, that's usually a sign of bad things to come. And sure enough, it was. Derek Lively was frustrated, was arguing with the officials over fouls that weren't, getting called. He wasn't really getting back on the other end. They were not getting rebounds. Jaylen Brown picked up Luka from 94 feet, and I mean, they just played all around better basketball, a great brand of basketball. And they know that this is their best chance to win. So they're making the best of it while the opportunity presents itself. Man, listen, people tend to forget that Kristaps is the original unicorn of these 7-foot shooters. Now, a lot of what has transpired when you talk about the Celtics is what you've seen all year in terms of blowouts, dominance. This is what they do. This is what they've been about all year dominance. This is a loaded Celtics team with championship aspirations. They blow out teams. That much has been true this season. They score the ball efficiently. That much has been true this season. They showed up ready to play. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown have both been to the finals. Jrue Holiday is a champion. They know what it feels like. They know what it takes. And they know what is expected and the do's and the don'ts and what needs to be done on this stage in games of this magnitude. I thought although Tatum did his thing, I mean, it goes kind of quietly because of what Jaylen Brown and Porzingis did. But I thought although what he did, and Porzingis is a very important piece as well, Jaylen Brown was really the best player on the floor. Ever since he got snubbed from being an All-NBA or being selected to an All-NBA, he was a different player. He has completely elevated his game. And I know Luka is a prolific scorer, an obvious statement after he just won the league scoring title this season. But Jaylen Brown, after what he did last night on both ends, it was a reminder of how good he is. Don't disrespect this man. Don't do it. Don't disrespect this brother, because he can play. The way he dominated on both ends of the floor, the tenacity, the toughness, he picked Luka up full court, stole the ball twice, that led to dunks, blocked shots, swatted Kyrie's shot into the first row, and made highlight plays that caught everyone's eye. This was a statement. But I will say this, if Dallas don't bring their game in game 2 and they don't come out playing a better version of basketball, if they don't look like themselves in the next game and play better basketball, like, we need to see a different Dallas team for them to have a chance to win this series. Like, they have to play like they've been playing, like they've been dominating in the West. They have to play like that. If they don't come out and they don't have a strong performance and they don't jump on Boston early and they go down 0-2 in this series is over. But I do think Dallas will make the adjustments necessary, and I do think that game 2 will be a lot different than what we saw in game 1. But I still have Boston winning the entire series. Thanks for watching, everyone. Really appreciate the love and support. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget, if you guys haven't already, do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate the love and support. I'm at 1,552, so keep pushing the subscribe button. Make sure you guys hit the notification bell so you guys can get notifications whenever I go live or whenever I'm posting a video up. Thank you guys so much. We'll talk very soon. You guys enjoy your Friday. See you guys when I see you guys again.